Yes, I do use a behavior management chart in the classroom, and I know that in recent years it's become controversial. There are actually articles on the dark side of using behavior management charts in the classroom, and I've had parents of my students confront me with this, but I meet with them and explain my unique way of using it and win them over, and they agree that it's a good thing. So yeah, usually these charts are green, yellow, red. Um, Everyone starts the day off on green, which is what I love. New day, everyone starts fresh. Whatever happened the days before is forgotten. Red means that we talk to the parent, and then for every rule that's broken, the color gets moved. I've adapted my chart to have so many different colors, so each day it takes 5 rules broken to get to red, so I give them a lot more chances. And also, I also have adapted it in my class where the kids can earn their way back to green each day. And really, that's one of the main benefits about this, because it's teaching kids how to manage their themselves, manage their behavior, which involves managing their emotions. It involves focusing on their behavior, increasing their self-control, and those are all great things that I need strengthened throughout the school year. So if they break a certain rule, they have the chance to demonstrate that they're not breaking that rule anymore, and then earn their colors back, going back up to green. I actually taught them a hand signal, which means look at me and how awesome I'm doing right now, and can I go back up a color? And so I love this because really it's teaching them not only all of that focus and restorative like restoring the misbehavior or the rules broken, restoring it, making wrong things right. I love that part of it. But I also love the self advocacy and even the negotiation skills. Like, I know I broke these rules today, but look at me now. I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. Can I go back to green? So it's teaching them, to stand up for themselves, to communicate, and a lot of kids need to be taught how to do these things. So over the course of the year, I teach them to do these things. Some kids will get a card flip and they don't advocate for themselves. And so I coach them through it to make them successful in doing so. I never stop believing in them. It's not a fear-based thing. It's not a shameful thing. We all make mistakes. So that's a huge thing about our class, is that everyone knows we all make mistakes, myself included, but we do need to be responsible for our mistakes. So I teach them the 3 steps that I taught in another video of: number 1, admit what you did; number 2, apologize. Sometimes that one you can skip, it's depending on the situation. Number 3, what are you gonna do differently moving forward? So in my classroom, the kids won't get a card flip if they call themselves out on their own misbehavior and they take responsibility right there and then. It could even just be like body language. So if they did, like, let's say they're throwing blocks up in the air, and I say, hey, what are you doing? And they're like, even just that body language, what they mean is, I know I'm doing it and I'll stop. So they can say that verbally, I'll stop. That's really powerful. It's taking responsibility for your actions, rather than, what are you talking about? I wasn't doing anything. She's the one doing it. So lying, making an excuse, distracting me, changing the subject, all of that is not taking responsibility for one's actions. So then I will give a card flip. So I give a card flip to teach kids that they do need to be responsible for their actions. And I also love the way I handle this, because as their cards get closer to red, that is a real world simulation, and it's great for kids to experience this type of thing in such a safe space when they're a kid in a nice, loving, warm class. And so, like in the real world, if someone were to get 2 speeding tickets throughout the same year, they might get a warning in the mail that said if they got one more speeding ticket, they'd get their license revoked. So being so close to a major consequence would cause the person to be very, very careful in their driving, to always be cognizant of the speeding limit, make sure they're driving at that speeding limit for the whole year. And that requires focus and self-management. These are all qualities that are great for kids to improve on. And so using the behavior chart management system, when kids go up to red, then they should increase their focus to watch out for their behavior and to try to make their way closer to green. Then if they're not able to do that, then I see that that's a weakness, and I coach them through it throughout the year. But even if they do get it red, it's not a punitive thing. It's not like, oh, I'm going to tell your parent you're in big trouble. No, it's the context that I create around this is it looks like you're having some trouble managing yourself to follow these rules on your own. It could be helpful for you if we get your parents in on this so that we could all talk about it, so that they can help remind you. And that might help you to focus on following the rules throughout the school day. So I could probably list so many other reasons why this is beneficial, but that's good enough for now. If you have any other questions, please comment below.